So when it comes to lights, we have two options, bulb and LED. In terms of bulb, there's three different main types that we would come across in video production. Incandescent bulbs, which provide a warm, natural light, but can generate a lot of heat. Fluorescent bulbs, they're energy efficient, but they may cast a cooler temperature, so a bit more of a blue hue. And then tungsten bulbs offer a warm glow, but they also emit heat and they have a shorter lifespan. In terms of what I would recommend and in terms of what I use for my own video production, I mainly use LED at the price point that I buy lights at. In terms of the difference between the two, I would say that LEDs give you a lot more flexibility, and that's why I choose them. But if you do find yourself with a bulb light, because that's what you've already bought, I would recommend just looking at what types of bulbs you have so that you can understand the kind of colours that you're dealing with. So now taking a look at LEDs, the beauty of these is that on the market now there are so many different shapes and sizes, and there really is a light out there for any kind of project that you're working on, no matter how big or small. So in terms of the benefits, they're a lot more energy efficient, they generate a lot less heat, and they also have a much longer lifespan compared to bulbs. You don't need to replace anything on these, they will run for a long time. When it comes to LED lights, we have a lot of flexibility in terms of what we can control. With a bulb light, we'd often just have an on-off switch and maybe a brightness kind of dial as well. But with LEDs, we'll often find on the back digital displays, and they enable us to really fine-tune exactly what the scene looks like. So let's take a quick look at what we can find on the back of an LED panel. So here we've got two different types of LED lights. On the left, we've got a much more basic one where we can basically just control the temperature and we can control the brightness. So this is just broken up into a yellow dial and a white dial. This is quite a classic setup that you might see on the back of an LED panel. On the right hand side, we've got an RGB light. This basically just means that it's a colored light, so it's got a few more settings. So on this first kind of tab, this first page, we have similar to this, we've got a temperature gauge, and this is measured in kelvins, and then we have a brightness dial, so very similar to that, but just on a digital display. On the next setting, we can control the color, so we can cycle through different colors on that dial. If we push that in, then we can adjust the saturation, and then this dial just controls the kind of intensity and the brightness on that one. The third setting is basically scenes for maybe more like fiction work, if we needed an ambulance or a TV or something like that in the background. So you see on the back of both of these lights we have battery slots, which makes these really flexible. If you don't want to have them plugged into the mains, you can pop some batteries in and take these out with you. So the final thing I just want to mention is softboxes, and these are a really great way of toning down the harshness that we can sometimes get from lighting. So something like this basically just attaches over an LED light. You also get them for bulb lights, and that's just going to diffuse the light a little bit and make everything look a little bit more gentle.